Hello everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Watch my video and subscribe my channel. Luna's coma crisis and Finn's dark doubts. Bold and the beautiful spoilers. Grace gets grilled and Liam wakes up. The 21st of July. Bridget Forrester is questioning Grace Buckingham at the hospital about why she let Liam Spencer go right after he had surgery for a gunshot wound. This makes people think Grace is up to something. Will Grace tell Bridget about the experimental surgery she did, which I think is risky, or will she keep quiet and see what happens? Finn knows about the experimental surgery, but Grace may not know that he knows. Steffi Forrester and Hope Logan are still very worried about Liam, but it appears like he may wake up on Monday after Bill Spencer and Liam have a serious chat. And of course, Bill is going to say, "Look, the tumor is gone. You have your life back." Grace had another MRI. It's a miracle. And it sounds too good to be true. I have a feeling that we will find out. Bold and beautiful 2 weeks spoilers July 21st to August 1st. Luna in coma and Finn suspicious soap dirt. Bold and the beautiful spoilers. Luna's still alive. Luna, on the other hand, is in a coma. Now, this spoiler comes from a reputable source, like totally unimpeachable. However, I haven't seen it on any other of the sites that also get the facts straight from the network. So, I'm very curious about this spoiler. I will say Lisa Yamada is still in the credits, right below Jack Finnegan, and just before new credits showing Ivy Forrester, Beth Spencer, and Kelly Spencer actresses are back for this week. So it looks legit. I'm sharing the spoiler with you, but I'm taking a wait-and-see attitude because every now and then this particular respected source, and again I'm not going to identify them, has a spoiler that other people don't. And it frequently happens when bold and the beautiful stuff comes out late. So, I'm taking it with a grain of salt. But I also never suspected that she was dead. I assumed Lee Finnegan was lying. So watch for that. July 22nd to 25th bold and beautiful spoilers. Romance, rivalries, and Italy trip drama. Tuesday, July 22nd. Nick Marone is wooing Brooke Logan and becoming full-on amorous with her. But she's still holding back just a little with Nick. And the reason why comes out on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Eric Forrester has this big talk about life and love and potential. The trip to Italy for the Forresters is confirmed. It looks like Eric has got some plans to not mind his business while they are out of the nation. On Wednesday, July 23rd, this is the reason that Nick is not getting a full-on yes from Brooke. When Nick is making these romantic overtures, it's because Brooke gives Ridge Forrester one last chance. She's given him somewhat of an ultimatum. It sounds like Brooke tells Ridge, "Look, break things off with Taylor Hayes. End this engagement. Don't deny our destiny. Choose me." Ridge, I expect, is absolutely going to say no again. That is going to be what has Brooke decide to go ahead and move forward with Nick. Things are going to get incredibly romantic for them while they're in Italy together. But they're not in Italy yet. Bold and the beautiful spoilers. Nick and Ridge battle and Daphne returns. Also, Ridge and his brother Nick get highly hostile with each other. I don't anticipate them to get physical. More of a fight of words. But we all know Ridge and Nick don't like each other. Ridge can't really come down hard and act envious over Nick with Brooke, since that would put Taylor on edge. But obviously Ridge is genuinely upset. And speaking of jealousy, Daphne Rose is back from Paris, and it really takes Carter Walton by surprise. I'm sure Hope will not be happy about this, but she knew it was coming. On Thursday, July 24th, Taylor assumes that Nick tagging along on the vacation to Italy the Forresters are making is to make a play for Brooke. Of course, Taylor's got to want that to happen. Now, this is just not Nick following along. Marone Industries is headquartered in Italy. So, it's actually happenstance that Nick is in LA, not that Nick would be going to Italy. Bold and the beautiful spoilers. Eric warns Ridge, and Italy changes everything. Plus, Eric gets emotional as he offers a warning to Ridge. I'm sure again this is Eric saying, "Don't turn your back on Brooke. Don't deny your destiny." End this thing with Taylor and embrace the future with Brooke, the woman you're meant to be with. Eric's matchmaking. We all know how stubborn Ridge is, and I think the more that Eric pushes, the more that Brooke pushes, the more Ridge is going to dig in his heels. Everything's changing though in Italy. Meanwhile, Steffi bonds with Liam over his near-death experience. I will say at this point, I think the shooting was what almost killed Liam and not this cancer, which again, I really am starting to doubt wholeheartedly. Bold and the beautiful spoilers. Hope for Sheila. While Steffi visits with Liam this week, Sheila Carter and her 8 toes drop by the Spencer estate to visit Liam. Sheila is on her crutches and shows them both her new foot condition. I don't think she can probably wear flip-flops after that because she was really upset when Deacon Sharp told her she lost another toe and it was all in a bandage. She was asking which one, and he said the long one. So, I suppose flip-flops are probably out for her. I'm a flip-flop girl. I wear them virtually all year. So, Steffi and Liam look really uncomfortable when Sheila is showing off her new toes to them. On Friday, July 25th, Steffi provides Sheila a cause to be hopeful and optimistic. So, this visit with Liam that Sheila makes to check on him post-shooting could actually open the door with Steffi, so that Sheila may actually get to see her son Finn. She may not be fully cut out of her life anymore. We'll see. Nick and Taylor have a conversation this week before the vacation to Italy. She suggests something to Nick. I'm sure Taylor is all in on Nick wooing Brooke. Meanwhile, Finn has suspicions about Grace. Yes, and I do as well. That $1 million miracle surgery seems dodgier by the day. Bold and the beautiful spoilers. Ivy Forrester returns and Liam reunites with his girls. Also, the week of July 21st, Ivy's back and thinking warm thoughts about Liam growing sentimental about their history. I would love to see Ivy and Liam back together. I've been excited since she came back spring 2024, and that was before the jewelry line thing. Remember, Ivy had lunch with Liam, told him she was still into him and kissed him, and Steffi was being kind of hostile about it. Brooke talks to Eric and Ridge about Nick going along on the trip to Italy. And Liam receives a visit from both Kelly and Beth, his kids this week. It's not clear what the parents are going to tell Kelly and Beth, since Liam's got a head bandage. Liam's got a chest bandage. So they can't pretend that nothing happened to Liam, but at least they don't have to tell Kelly and Beth that their dad is dying. Italy on-location episodes and major bold and beautiful plot twists from July 28th to August 1st. The week of July 28th through August 1st, we're going to see those Italy on-location episodes. Those are going to run for a week and a half from Monday, July 28th through Tuesday, August 5th. They shot in Naples and Capri. We will also see Genji back, the B&B intern who is played by Brad Bell's son, Oliver Bell. Watch to see Nick truly turn on the romantic charm while in Italy. He got a lift from Taylor, who urged him to go for it, so he's going to. Nick's company, Marone Industries, is headquartered in Naples, Italy, and Brooke, Ridge, and Eric all wind up in Naples as well. Ridge has some sort of incident that changes everything. Kind of like the keyhole incident, the last time he and Brooke were in Italy. So, Ridge is in an accident of some type, and in the end he finishes up recognizing Brooke is the love of his life he's destined to be with. We know the accident involves Ridge winding up in the water. More spoilers to follow on that soon. This epiphany is going to be the end of Nick's prospects with Brooke and the end of Taylor's shot with Ridge and the end of their engagement. Brad Bell claimed Brooke and Ridge will be together forever after this. Ivy's feelings for Liam reignite. Beth and Kelly visit Daddy. The bold and the beautiful recap for Monday, July 21st. Reveals that Ivy Forrester's feelings for Liam Spencer reignited while Beth Spencer and Kelly Spencer visited their daddy. In the design office at Forrester Creations, Ivy thought back on her relationship with Liam and realized exactly how much she'd missed him now that he was dying. After Ivy opened up to Electra Forrester about Liam being one of the big reasons she came back to LA, she was upset over running out of time. Ivy didn't sure how she'd say goodbye to Liam, who was there for her during one of the lowest times of her life. Next on Monday's B&B program, Katie Logan and Will Spencer met up with Brooke Logan Taylor Hayes, and Ridge Forrester in the CEO office. That's where Will and Katie spread the news about Liam's experimental operation. Ridge, Taylor, and Brooke were all astonished to find that Liam had been cured. At the Spencer mansion, everyone continued to marvel over Liam getting this opportunity to live and watch his daughters grow up. Since Liam was going to be okay, he insisted on seeing Beth and Kelly today. Kelly and Beth were a bit concerned about Liam's head bandage and all the equipment, but Liam had them smiling with jokes and reassurance. Hope Logan and Steffi Forrester also let the girls know that Liam would be okay. In Grace Buckingham's office, she looked uncomfortable and nervous when Bill Spencer sent her a grateful text. Bridget Forrester confronted Grace over her decision to discharge Liam into Bill's care so soon, but Grace took a shady phone call and got rid of Bridget for now. In the hospital corridor, Bridget flashed back to numerous situations involving Grace and was clearly distrustful of her. Back in Grace's office, she got confirmation on Bill's money being moved. Grace finally experienced a bit of a panic episode as the day's events caught up with her. At one point, John Finnegan probed Bill about whether he'd been in touch with Grace after the surgery. Bill supplied updates on a thanks text he wrote as Finn continued to seem pensive about this whole affair. After Liam enjoyed some daddy-daughter bonding time with Beth and Kelly, Bill muttered about it being the best money he ever spent. Grace's diversion, Ivy's urge, Beth and Kelly's reunion. The Bold and the Beautiful recap is in for Monday, July 21st, 2025. In today's episode, Grace Buckingham tries to avoid answering questions. Ivy Forrester can't stop thinking about Liam Spencer. Plus, Beth Spencer and Kelly Spencer reunite with their dad. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Liam Spencer's disbelief. Bill Spencer announces that Liam's tumor is gone. Steffi Forrester Finnegan is thrilled. Liam is in total amazement. Hope Logan wants the children to arrive. John Finnegan tells Bill that most cases don't end this way. Bill says it's a miracle. The doctor appears doubtful. Read this. Find out what occurred in the last episode of B&B. Bill makes a speech by his son's bedside, declaring he would do anything for him. Bill also says that he could never forgive himself if something happened to him, Steffi, or the girls. The nanny has brought Kelly and Beth. They are brought upstairs. They know he was in the hospital but don't know the cause. Liam bonds with Kelly and Beth. Bill says to himself that this was the best $1 million he's ever spent. Katie Logan's good news. At Forrester Creations, Taylor Hayes, Ridge Forrester, and Brooke Logan are still talking about Italy. Katie Logan and Will Spencer come with wonderful news. Katie and Will explain Liam's miracle. Will reveals his father has made some bad judgments recently. After Ridge fumes a bit, Will reminds everyone that saving Liam's life was a positive thing. Will is glad his brother is immortal, but Taylor has questions. She did indicate she'll call the hospital for more information. Read this. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers next 2 weeks. Ivy's memories, Grace confronted, Italy adventure. Ivy Forrester distracted. In another office, Electra Forrester talks about her pieces, but Ivy is distracted. Ivy tells Electra the story about how Liam was there during her darkest time. Ivy thinks Liam is pretty remarkable. Ivy wonders if she could have had another opportunity with Liam. Now she has to figure out how to say goodbye forever. The brain tumor has put things in perspective for Ivy. Grace Buckingham's diversion. At the hospital, Grace is reading a text message when Bridget Forrester charges in. Bridget fires off some questions, but Grace doesn't have time for this. Bridget leaves and Grace takes a call. She was just about to contact them. The $1 million has been deposited. Grace thinks back to telling everyone about the tumor. Meanwhile, Bridget can't help thinking about how odd this all is that I am the sterile calm of a hidden hospital wing. A slow, regular beat pulsed from the monitor beside Luna Nozoa's unmoving corpse. Tubes twisted like serpents from her nose and wrists, her once vibrant energy now suspended in stasis. Her eyelids barely blinked as nurses muttered updates, and Lee Finnegan leaned nearby. Eyes steely, voice frigid. "No one knows she's alive," Lee whispered under her breath, tightening the privacy settings on Luna's chart. The outside world believed Luna was dead, killed in the crossfire of a hospital rampage that had left Sheila Carter wounded, Liam Spencer clinging to live, and the Forrester Logan Spencer families destroyed. But Lee, motivated by a God complex developed from years of medical deception and familial disappointment, had done it again. She had faked her niece's death. Only this time, she wasn't trying to save a life. She was trying to control one. As Luna's body remained in a coma, sedated under Lee's directive, John Finnegan began to grow increasingly suspicious. At first, his mind was elsewhere, on Liam's amazing recovery, the controversial surgery Grace Buckingham had done, and the $1 million miracle bill Spencer secretly paid for. But there was something off. Every time Finn brought up Luna, his mother shut down. Poppy wasn't allowed near any files. No memorial had ever happened. And when Sheila, now limping and missing yet another toe, asked Lee for closure, Lee evaded with the elegance of a woman hiding something too huge to name. Meanwhile, in Liam's suite at Spencer Mansion, the air was thick with uneasy hope. Steffi Forrester grabbed his hand, her eyes saturated with emotion, while Hope Logan stood behind her, arms crossed, watching as her ex-husband slowly blinked awake for the first time in days. "You're safe," Steffi whispered. "The tumor's gone. You're going to be okay." Liam's brows furrowed. "Tumor?" he asked, disoriented. "What tumor?" The room went still. Hope glanced at Finn, who just entered with a tight jaw. "You don't remember?" she asked. "You were diagnosed with a brain tumor." "Grace. She said it was terminal." Finn stepped forward, his voice calm but grave. "And she also said she cured it, with a procedure no one else can verify." Liam's expression shifted from confusion to doubt. "Wait, I had a tumor and now I don't." Bill Spencer stepped in, voice booming with pride. "You had the best. Grace Buckingham saved your life." But Finn wasn't convinced. Something didn't sit right. Grace had signed off on Liam's discharge hours after thoracic surgery. There had been no peer review of the MRI, no post-op complications. It was too smooth, too clean, too wonderful. And miracles in medicine, Finn knew, generally came with a price. Across town, Bridget Forrester stormed into Grace's hospital office, slamming a document down. "Why did you discharge Liam so early? Why wasn't I consulted?" Grace, already pale and sweating, tried to deflect. "Bill authorized it. He wants his son home." Bridget's eyes narrowed. "That's not how this works. A patient doesn't merely go home because his dad says so. Especially not after you informed us he had terminal cancer." Grace clutched the edge of her desk, her breathing shallow. "It was a misdiagnosis," she whispered. "Or a miracle," she added, voice trembling. But Bridget wasn't backing off. "You don't get to play God, Grace. Not again." The walls seemed to close in around Grace. Her phone buzzed, confirmation that the $1 million had been wired. She shut the TV off and stood shakily. "I need a moment," she whispered and went into the corridor, hand shaking as she grabbed her chest. Her heart was racing. She could scarcely breathe. In the nearby lounge, she collapsed into a chair, gasping for air. "This isn't happening," she whispered. They weren't supposed to question it. It was intended to work.